some solar panels. And I think the county should lead the way, putting the solar farm right up at the jail, behind the meter up there. We could save a lot of money in electricity. But I think we should pursue that. Now, whether this board will pursue it or not, I don't know. And what's the status with the recount, by the way?
So, number one, Jerry, it's not a recount.
Okay.
It's a canvas. And we are probably through 10 or 11 districts right now. We're up to the Jim Thorpe, Kidder Township districts, as I understand it. Today, our staff members will be hand feeding the high-speed scanner for all of the ballots to be read by this high-speed scanner, so that we use that as a barometer to compare to the statistics that we released on Wednesday morning of last week. With regard to the hand count, that's continuing and will continue after the high-speed scan is done today. That'll continue today until the end of the day, and likewise tomorrow and Saturday. There's a election board meeting called back into session for 1 p.m. Monday, when we will discuss the status, where we are and what our findings are up until that point. And there's also a hearing before Judge Nanovic at 9 o'clock Wednesday of next week on the petition by the Republican Party to stop the hand count.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other guys? State your name and where you're from, sir.
Frank Tambori, East Penn Township. Only because you're already on that topic just a little bit.
Sure.
Under what legal authority did this board choose to undertake the 100% canvassing effort?
So I'll defer to the solicitor on that, since it's a legal question.
So, under the election code, the Board of Election is charged with doing the canvass, okay? And in this case, the election board, as Mr. O'Berg said, the election board is doing the high-speed scan today. But in addition, the election office is also doing their regular recanvass that they do in every election. So there's really 3 tracks. They're doing their regular recanvass, and they anticipate having that done by the meeting on Monday. They're doing the high-speed scan of the ballots, which they anticipate being done by Monday. And because we're charged with getting the vote right and certifying the vote, the board, in its discretion, elected to commence also hand count, since we now have the paper ballots. The reason, and I'll ask, and Commissioner O'Gore can supplement this as he wishes, but when the initial returns came in and were posted on election night, showing 51 districts, reporting 51 districts in, which essentially were all the districts, and there were totals for each office and each municipality, and it became clear that those were completely wrong across the board. Because as you may be aware, that there were districts that were reporting no votes. So this wasn't a case where 1 or 2 districts were found to have discrepancies. This was across the board. So the Board of Election felt that in order to have a proper canvass and have a proper certification of the vote, they want to get it right. They want the electors and they want the candidates to know that the vote they certify is accurate and correct. So it is for that reason that the board chose to do the canvass in this manner.
All right. And I have one more, if I may. All right. Since the election board chose to do 100% canvassing, did the board officially notify all candidates of the ballot, giving them an opportunity to participate, a right they would have had if this was a legitimate recount? Seems only fair.
So what I can tell you, Mr. Tamburi, is that the election board publicly advertised the meeting of the election board for the Friday after the election, which is duly serving notice on the public and all the candidates, for that matter, that the election board will be called to order for purpose of conducting a canvass. So I would think that the persons who were interested in that process could come to that meeting, attend that meeting, and see what the election board members determined to be their preferred route of canvassing. So the answer is, did we notify them all individually? No, but we did advertise it as required by law publicly and gave them an opportunity to be there.
Right.
In addition to that, I could tell you this much. The Republican Party petitioned the court to stop the hand count. And as part of Judge Nanovik's order, the movement, which is the 3 petitioners, have a responsibility to serve that petition upon all candidates on the ballot, whether it would be supervisors, council members, auditors, borough, county candidates. We estimate that involves probably about 165 candidates who need to be served by the people who filed the action in government court.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Any other guests concerning county business? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Report of executive session, Michelle.
There were none.
Department reports, the budget transfers.
So moved.
Second motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Supplemental appropriations.
So moved.
Second motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Expenditures, approval of payroll check numbers 71889 through 71930, and direct deposit check numbers 6014068 through 6014478 for payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $557,408.88. This is the payroll dated November 8th, 2019.
Motion to ratify.
Second motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 209581 through 209785 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $1,117,781.20.
So moved.
Second motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
Yes, with the exception of the bills for Blue Ridge Communications and Penn Teledata, to which I abstain because I'm a part-time employee of the Times News, which is a sister company of Blue Ridge Communications and Penn Teledata. And I'd like to present to the Keeper of Records a memorandum stating my potential conflict of interest with Penn Corp-related companies as per the advice of the State Ethics Commission.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
The treasurer's report.
Move to approve.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
The personnel report.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Advertising. For approval, authorize the necessary advertisements relative to the 2020 Carbon County budget.
Move for the advertising.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
I abstain because I'm a part-time employee of the Times News where the advertisement will be published.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
For approval, authorize the necessary advertisement relative to the Board of Commissioners' attendance at the December 2nd meeting of the Penn Forest Township Supervisors regarding Carbon County Bridge 12 replacement project.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
I abstain because I'm a part-time employee of the Times News where the advertisement will be published.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
For approval, authorize the advertisements of the 2020 holidays as listed.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
I abstain because I'm a part-time employee of the Times News where the advertisement will be published.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Incidentally, you only have 5 more weeks of abstentions.
I'm gonna miss that this week.
Better than 2 years ago.
That's right, you got that right.
Children and Youth. For approval and execution, the fiscal year 2018-2019 purchase of service agreement with the provider, the Beverly Bradley Center, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, residential services at $350 per diem.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore.
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Planning and Development for approval and execution. The following documents to be filed with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development for the fiscal year 2019 CDBG block grant application, the CDBG single application.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore?
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Recorder of Deeds for approval and execution, an agreement between the county and Optical Storage Solutions Incorporated of Lebanon, Pennsylvania, covering support and maintenance in the Carbon County Recorder of Deeds office effective January 1, 2020 to December 31st, 2020. At the Landex Software Maintenance, 13 licenses at $9,963 per year, and the Landex Hardware Maintenance and Support at $2,530 per year.
Move to the agreement.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore?
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
A service agreement for approval, stenograph writer protection plan renewal contract for DeMonte Steno Machine for courtroom number 1 for the term of December 10th, 2019 to December 9th, 2020, at a cost of $389. This represents a $20 increase.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore?
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Solicitors report?
Thank you. Parking lot trail project for approval and execution. Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Grant between the county and the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the construction of a pedestrian travel path to connect the pedestrian bridge to the D&L trailhead located at the north end of the parking lot. The grant is in the amount of $403,986 by federal funds for construction only, and shall become effective from the date signed by the Commonwealth upon execution.
So moved.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore?
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
We also need a motion to adopt the resolution and authorize the chairman to execute electronically the grant agreement and any supplements thereof.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore?
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax claim for adoption, a resolution amending the Carbon County Tax Claim Bureau schedule of costs to reflect a charge of $300 to be assessed of February 1st of each year, and the actual cost of title searches to be assessed on November 1st of each year, or upon such other date in the sole discretion of the Bureau.
Motion to adopt.
Second the motion.
Mr. O'Gore?
Yes.
Mr. Gerhart?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Is that right in the resolution since February 1st?
Yeah, that's when they start. for
That's when
the,
you start to.
judicial costs.
Okay. Okay, yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business? Commissioners' reports, Mr. O'Gore?
I have nothing.
Mr. Gerhart?
I have nothing.
Mr. Notstein?
Just a report, finally today, we should be removing that tanker from the animal shelter, and we should be moving on. The water was tested twice, everything is okay. They have and remove an older expansion tank that they had for the well. That will be coming out of the system, and they're in the process of doing that now. And then we'll be able to, well, the tanker is disconnected, or should be by now, so. Finally, after how many months, we finally have that issue resolved with the animal shelter. We'll be using the original water from well 2, which is down below. Well 1 is at the animal shelter itself. That's the one that's contaminated, and we're still waiting to hear from the Hospital Environmental on the issues with that, so we can look into using that well or possibly treating that water instead of digging a new well, because if we dig a new well, there's no guarantee that it's gonna be good water to begin with. So we're looking into the possibility of just treating that water so we do have a backup. It is getting close to the maximum gallons per minute that it can sustain. So that's all I have today. Meeting adjourned. Wanna go first?
Sure. So I guess the only thing was, can we just expand a little bit on this parking lot trail project? What exactly that?
We're trying to move right now we have an issue with the bikes and walkers and hikers, et cetera, going through the parking lot. The safety issue, working on a plan to remove them to hopefully in some areas on the other side of the guardrail, and make it safer for everyone, and more of a trail, not go right through the parking lot itself.
Yeah, is this just the application for the grant right now, or did you guys?
No,
get-
we have the
you
grant,
got the money?
we have the grant already, it's, just so that we can proceed with it and execute the agreement with the state.
Okay, so when do you think construction will start on that, probably?
We have to meet with the consultant and determine, to finalize the specs and go out to bid. So hopefully, when things slow down in the beginning of the new year, if they do, I doubt it, but we'll look at the timeline and meet with those people.
Yeah, and the new board will have to decide what option they want. We've
Yeah.
looked at some preliminary things about running a path down closer to the river or down the embankment per se. One of the plans is to just run them right through the lot and to annotate it with markings to try to make it safer. My preference is to get all those hikers and bikers out of the lot, to get them, when they come across that bridge, to have them go through some type of safe path down there along the embankment until they get up to, back onto the trail. But the new board will decide that.
One of the things, and I think it was at the, might have been at Jim Thorpe Rural meeting or when the plan was presented, one of the options was to remove how many parking spaces, almost
Yeah.
100 parking
Yeah.
spaces. And absolutely, positively not, we cannot afford to lose parking places. We may lose a few, where we have to take the trail off out of the parking lot near the bridge, I think. So, yeah, that was a major concern right from the beginning, and that, I would say that option is off the table. We cannot afford, because they wanted to put a turnaround up in the upper end of the parking lot, and, bike racks and everything else. So whatever we can do without losing too much parking places. And I hope that the new board of commissioners will consider that.
Yeah, one of the ideas is to make it user-friendly, and I think that would be great. So with people who come from down south and come up here, when they get off that bridge, that if there was a place for them to park their bikes, maybe sit at a table or a bench or something of that nature, those are options, but they come with a dollar value, a cost. And so, again, it'd be the new board's decision to figure out what's best out there, and I'm sure they will.
And I think that the major thing, Alyssa, it's all about safety. We've been very fortunate over the years, the high volume of traffic coming in and out of our lot. We do have a pedestrian walkway. A lot of people use it, but a lot of people don't. So, a lot of people backing up, people walking through the lot. This all ties in with the pedestrian bridge. It's gonna make it much safer for everyone coming to Jim Thorpe.
And then the only other thing, wasn't on the agenda, but I know last week, I guess there was some sort of talk about possibility of an ice rink in Jim Thorpe. Has there been any new developments with that, or?
Yes, there are some new developments. They're looking at a smaller rink and possibly putting it in near the pedestrian bridge or the trail bridge there. It was in the paper last night, misquoted as the county would pay the insurance. The county will not pay the insurance. Anytime we have the group is gonna have to do a special activity agreement, submit it to the county. They have to prove that they have insured and the county is named as an additional insured. So they're looking at downsizing. To me personally, I think it might be a good idea. Let's start off small, and if it works out, then we'll look at doing something much bigger. And hopefully it is a success. So, and with the trains supposedly leaving or saying they're leaving next month, I think it's a great effort by the Jim Thorpe Tourism, and turn to us who is really sponsoring this or hosting this, because I hope they are successful.
It's 22 by 44 right now is the proposed size. It was much larger. We're probably gonna lose a few parking spots, but I think it's a good thing. All ties in
And
with.
we're gonna have to look if it'll fit there, have maintenance going down the market to see if we still have enough room for that.
But it'd be nicer than a half mile up the lot. I mean, when you have them right here in town where the visitors are gonna be and where people will use it. It's got, like I said last week when it was proposed, I don't see how advantageous it would be to have it all the way up beyond the other bridge. Just in my mind, just out of sight, out of mind. But right here, when you think about what they're offering here, I think it fits there into the whole Christmas environment that they're trying to establish in downtown Jim Thorpe for December.
And Yeah, their issue is the lighting of the bridge, which they wanna do, that sounds like a real nice thing, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing that. Okay, anything else? Kelly?
Thank you.
Amy?
Good morning. Just in regards to the Bridge 12 replacement project you guys are gonna be going to headquarters for, where is Bridge 12?
On Old Stage Road.
Home State Road up in Forest Township there.
And I think that's it, but thank you guys.
Good.
Yeah, really.